Should I sell my house right now? I've been getting this question a lot recently, and usually when someone asks me if I should sell my house right now, my answer to them is usually no, except if you are doing a very specific kind of upsize. Here's why. My name is Adam. I'm the owner of Vision Real Estate, and I help people buy and sell real estate in Toronto and the Greater Toronto Area. Thanks so much again for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button if you enjoy this content. And if you have any questions regarding real estate, or you'd like to get an evaluation with the numbers and a full breakdown for your home, feel free to click on the link in the description below. That will connect you right to my calendar where you can book a quick 15-minute chat with me at your convenience, or feel free to just send any question you have to adam@visionrealestate.ca and I will send you a personalized video with my answer within 24 hours. I just recently had a client ask me if they should be making an upsize into a detached home. And when I looked at the numbers, it was really interesting because it turns out that even in this market with a declining average price, they could actually save a ton of money by upsizing right now, as opposed to selling and buying in a much hotter market. I took these numbers for Vaughan, which is the suburb of Toronto, but overall the numbers also work very similarly in Toronto. So let's start with the numbers in February, which was the peak of the market, and compare them to the numbers of July, which just came out around 2 weeks ago. The average price for a townhouse in Vaughan in February was $1.421 million. Fast forward to today, the average price for a townhouse in Vaughan is $1.08 million. So roughly in the last 6 months alone, the average price for a townhouse in Vaughan has dropped by approximately 24%. Now let's look at detached homes in the same area. In February, the average price for a detached home in Vaughan was $2.221 million. For those same houses in July, the average price was $1.697 million. Again, we see that the average price for detached homes between February and July has dropped by also 24%. So what we're seeing is freehold properties, both townhouses and detached homes, dropping in average price by about the same percentage. Here is the interesting part. When you actually equate that into dollar figures, it makes upsizing a lot cheaper. If we were to take the average price for a townhouse in February and compare it to the average price of a townhouse in July for Vaughan, the average price has gone down by about $341,000. But if you take the average price for detached homes in those same areas between February and now, they've dropped by $524,000. So even though the market is declining, because it's declining at the same rate between both the classes of townhouses and detached, the dollar figures work out to be way different. In fact, there's about a $183,000 gap between how much detached have depreciated versus townhouses in the same area. And if we take the numbers from before February, when the market was increasing, it was the reverse, meaning that if you were to try to upsize in an inclining market where prices are increasing, you actually lose money in that move. But when the market is declining in average price like it is right now, you actually save a ton of money. Having said that, of course, we know that interest rates are much higher. So on a monthly cash flow basis, in terms of how much you are paying to borrow the same amount of money, it's gonna be a lot more expensive. Here is the thing. You are married to your purchase price. Once you have bought, that price is locked in. But you are not married to your interest rate. That will fluctuate if you have a variable rate, or if you have a fixed rate, it's only on a 5-year term typically, which means that you can also change it, you can renegotiate it, you can refinance if you need to at any point. Now, when I took a look at how these markets were differing in asset classes, it also made a really big difference in how easy they were to sell. I know I've talked a lot about months of inventory in the past, but basically it is how we measure how hot a market is. Basically what you do is you take the total amount of inventory and divide it by the average number of sales happening per month. The lower the number is, the hotter the market is for that asset class. So when you look at the months of inventory for townhouses in Vaughan, we're at 2.9 as of July. But when you look at detached homes in that same area, months of inventory is 3.9. That's a really big difference. What it basically means is that it is a lot harder to sell a detached home in Vaughan right now than it is to sell a townhouse. So you're getting a bigger discount off of detached homes than you are townhouses. Townhouses are going to be a lot easier to sell, and you can also be a lot more aggressive in negotiations for detached homes in Vaughan right now. So should you sell your house in this market? My answer is, if you are upsizing, 100%. It will be a massive savings to you in the long run. But if you are not upsizing, don't move, don't sell your house. I did a video on this a little while ago, and I'll post that right up here if you'd like a more in-depth explanation as to who should be moving in a declining market and why, and who shouldn't be moving in a declining market and why. That's all for today. See you next time.